welcome to Noni, Yanga's flagship talk show where we discuss all the hot topics. Today we take a look at our social media footprint and ask, should we be judged on what we post? We also look at celebs such as Jama, who has come under fire recently for some tweets she posted nearly 5 years ago. Joining me today, social media star Esther Falana, presenter and founder of Talks with Monica Lee, and broadcaster Fumi Ogunja. Wow, ladies, I came underdressed. You look fabulous. The popularity of social media sites such as Facebook rose over 12 years ago. And for some of us, that means years of our lives documented on the internet for the public to see. But should there be a disconnect between who we are and what we post? Your potential new boss can check your Facebook profile and judge you on the photos they find. But is this fair? Are we what we post online? Let me come to you, Fumi.
Yeah.
Is your social media footprint your legacy?
More or less, and that's from pictures to tweets. I mean, you can't fake it. You can't fake a picture and you can't fake how you feel. So, I mean, you can go back 5 years. I feel like I'm still the same person. I still have the same views, opinions and morals. You have some people that are fake on Twitter and they're tweeting just to be popular, and that's where you slip up, because go 5 years back and you don't feel that way or you never did. So I remain true to myself on all social media platforms.
Interesting. Monica, Career Builder, which is a job application site, it says 70% of job applicants are screened on their social media presence. Do you think that's fair?
I do think it's fair to a certain extent, but then it gets to that point of, are you invading to other people's privacy?
Okay.
And that can get a bit, do you know what I mean, balancing and what's the difference. But I feel like it's really important for people to understand that wherever you go in, if you want to go into a certain career, that you need to start acting as that career path, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if I want to be a presenter, I've already conditioned myself that presenting is very important. So in order for me to accomplish that, I need to start...
in some channels.
But in order for me to accomplish that, I need to put my mindset into that kind of zone. And for me, I have to just condition myself that I need to be careful and very wary.
Yeah, so you think there's a balance between kind of snooping, but you do think you should be responsible for what you post. So a potential employer can see exactly what they're going to get. Esther, have you ever posted something and regretted it?
Maybe. I can't think from the top of my head. Usually I always stand by what I say and do. I don't really backtrack. But at the same time, I feel like it's a bit harsh to say that, you know, we have to be held accountable for everything we post, because 5 years ago I'm not the same person I once was. 10 years ago I wasn't the same person I once was. I understand that, you know, you said that your opinions of what you had 5 years ago, you stand by that now. Same time, we grow. With age comes wisdom and knowledge and understanding, and the same person I was 5-6 years ago, I've grown, I've evolved, and my mindset may not be the same way that I was 5-6 years ago. So I feel like we need to also take that into account, and I feel like sometimes social media is quite harsh. Yes. You know, it is very harsh. Do I have any regrets for what I've posted today and what I've posted in the last 2 years? No, you know, it is me. I represent myself, and I believe that, you know, this is me, you accept me for who I am. But do I, you know, crucify, or get onto people that post things that I personally won't post? No, because that's what represents them. That's what they believe is true to them. So that's how I stand. That's
Although a lot of people do have a post and regret, you know, or post and delete, but then there's always a screenshot. Someone's always got that screenshot of what that celeb posted, isn't it? But then do you think it's fair for me that, you know, your employer or a potential employer will see what you've been doing on the weekend, or a reason why you could be late, or if they wanted to hire you purely because of what you post on social media? Or it's not even that they're going into your Facebook, they're literally Googling you, and those are the most recent things that come up.
I think that's where I kind of draw the line. Like, that line is very blurred for me as well. Like, at the end of the day, I am not who I am at work. You know, like, let's take doctors for instance. Monday to Friday, doctor mode. On the weekend,
you don't want to see them in the pub, though, do you?
You don't want to see them in the pub, because you're not going to go to that doctor again. But a doctor should be able to have a social life and should be able to express themselves and should be able to put them out. So I don't agree with employers judging their employees on their social media. It doesn't represent them professionally.
Yeah, we talk about work, but what, you know, let's take it away from professionalism now and talk about, you know, young girls. You know, you may post a scandalous picture, or you may have sent a guy something you shouldn't have sent, and it's there. It can't be deleted. So therefore, you kind of have to take a bit of accountability, don't you, Monica? Because, you know, you're putting it out there. Even though you're not the same girl you were 5 years ago, you should know that this has the potential to come back and haunt you.
Yeah.
I feel like what people need to understand is that no matter how far your mindset was at a certain time in life, that you have to hold yourself accountable for what you've said and what you've done. Cool, of course, you might have changed your mindset, things have grown, wisdom, as you can see, everyone's growing with age, but at the same time, you did put that out, so you need to understand that that was a mindset, so you either apologize or you either just kind of let people know, you know what, that is not me anymore, I've changed, and maybe if you are very true in what you say, then we'll believe. If not, then I'm not really sure how that will work. But you just got to do what you've done and kind of hold yourself. Whatever you said, you've got to just own it.
Of course, a lot of post and deletes really happen on Twitter because, of course, Esther, that's where you can say, not a lot, but you can say some really damaging things in a short space. But with Instagram, people are posting captions now. When because you're obviously really popular on social media, are you ever thinking, should I say this? Should I not say this? How much do you think about what you're going to say?
Do you know what, funny enough, talking about posting and deleting, something actually happened to me. It just came to me. I have, but I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all. As you know, I've been very open about cosmetic surgery.
Yeah.
And part of being open about cosmetic surgery and being in the community of Essex, that's what we call it, you know, is you'll be on social media, you know, you'll meet other dolls, that's what we call them. Essex dolls, yeah.
Okay,
it's
so you have to explain that.
There's
What's
a little
an
community.
Essex doll, yeah.
Essex doll means that a girl that is in the surgery community that's wanting to do cosmetic surgery or has already done cosmetic surgery, and basically it's like a community where we seek advice from each other, talk about experiences, positive, negative, what to look out for, health, you know, issues that you may arise during surgery, etc. So I had a surgery page, and I put up pictures of me where I had nudes up of me before and after, etc. So yeah, I had it up, and it's a private community. It's only for girls, like it's only for people that are doing surgery in the same kind of light, and you have to have an account, etc. It's on Real Self. So I put those pictures up, and as time, what had happened was I think when I first went onto the show that I was on YouTube, Backtrack London, got into a little, as you see, you know how social media works, they'll try and dig things up about you.
Yes.
And my account I wouldn't say it got hacked, but someone that was in the community must have noticed that it was me, and then they went to go and screenshot it and pass it on to someone that's well known in social media. I'm not going to say he's well known in the music industry, and he posted it on his Twitter, and it went viral. Do you understand? And it was nude pictures. Nude pictures of me before and after.
Before and after surgery?
Yeah, before and after surgery, and it had
awful.
I think it had I should have gone to Letitia Grace, because she's a public figure as well, for advice about where I got my cosmetic surgery done. Now, for me, I don't regret putting that up, because the reason I put it up there is because as I was seeking advice and looking into surgery, I was putting, this is my experience, this is how I look, this is how I look then, this is how I look now.
How did you feel?
It was heartbreaking, because I remember I had a lot, in fairness, I did have a lot of people in social media that supported me. People like Lethal B, a lot of people reached out and said, you know what, this is unacceptable, it's disgusting. That man had no rights to do that. Now he's saying his comeback was, I got hacked, etc. To me, who knows the truth about it.
But can I ask you an honest question? Not now, because I know you're not a regretful girl, but when you saw those pictures instantly, did you feel that I shouldn't have posted this?
Do you know what? Instantly, when I first saw it, it was more like, you know, you have 1,000 things going through your head. It might be like, oh my gosh, like,
rage, regret, anger, sadness.
Rage, regret. How the hell did they get it? You know, those are the things. How did they get it? How did they find me? Who would do such a thing? Why would they do that? What have I ever done to him? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, of course, there's a heap of emotions that come over me.
But not regret.
But not regret, because you know why? It's made me who I am today. Everything that you do and everything you go through in life molds you to be better.
Of course, and we love you for that. Well, still to come, we ask, should celebrities be scrutinised by what they post on social media? See you after the break. Welcome back to Noni. Coming up, we take a look at Girl of the Moment, my Jama, as we discuss the backlash she's received for tweets she posted nearly 5 years ago. But first, let's get back to our discussion. Now, Monica, I know you know Esther, and, you know, she is a celebrity within our community, very well known, people know her. When you hear of people like Esther and A-list celebrities, you know, there could be a leaked a nude picture. Obviously, this wasn't a nude picture. This was a cosmetic surgery forum, and it was about advice. But is there something in the back of your mind that's like, well, why did you do that though? This is, it could potentially lead to something like this, or do you have sympathy?
I have a lot of sympathy. You actually cannot be responsible for someone else's action. If you posted something because you felt confident about it, you had your own reasons behind it, and it was very important to you, then so be it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you did not post it because you didn't want to. It's because there was a reason behind it. But for someone to take it out of context and use it against you, and then use it to kind of like discredit you as a person, as a woman, I feel like that's just so belittling, very immature and just irresponsible. But personally, whatever you do, you own it. For anyone else's actions, you just got to be like, you know what, let's just leave them in a corner. It has nothing to do with me. I've done what I've done. I've said my piece. This is who I am.
And I looked fab in those pictures.
And you looked amazing.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, did you see them? I haven't seen them.
I haven't seen
But
them.
I know she looked fab. I can tell.
Do you know what it is? You get to see how everyone comes together when something like that happens.
Yeah.
Like, you know, everyone, the support was amazing, because it was just that, it was more, say, the fact that you're using something. Because obviously I take responsibility for putting the pictures up. I put them up because I wanted to put them up, and it's to help other women out there who in the same situation as me.
It's a very interesting discussion, and I think as well, you know, there was that time for me a couple of years ago where everyone in Hollywood was getting leaked. Something got into somebody's... Did you ever feel, because I'm not going to lie, there were times when I was like, well, come on, if you've got them on your laptop, somebody's going to hack them anywhere. Like, be more careful.
Yeah. You know what, when it came out, I actually did look at myself and thought, wait, I have pictures on my phone, and you know what? And it was like, do I delete and do I not? But it's like, no, like...
Okay,
if I want to get those pictures, I still have these pictures.
Knowing they could be leaked.
Knowing they could be leaked, because at the end of the day, I should have that right to take pictures that I want to take, whether I'm naked or I'm dressed. If I want to send it to my partner, or if I just want to stare at them, I should be able to do that. And I don't want to live with the fear like, oh, if you take that picture, there's a chance it might be leaked. I mean, it can get leaked.
But the thing, I'm sorry to say something controversial, but some girls like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The kind of, will he, won't he? Who
and
knows?
there's a rule for nudes now, like, make sure when you take it, you wouldn't take it so you wouldn't mind if it leaked. Do you understand? And don't keep your make sure it's really good. So if it leaks, you don't mind, and hide your head.
Hide your head.
Could be anyone.
Nobody would have. But do you sometimes think, guys, that sometimes it's hard to detach your feelings from social media? There are nights I can be livid. I might have had a big argument with my husband, or something's happened at work, and I'm like, I'm going to post something. I just want the world to know that I'm peed off at the moment. And then I'm like, no, though, because I'm going to be all right in the morning, and I don't want somebody to think, oh, what happened? Do you think sometimes it is hard to detach what's happening right that second, being angry with somebody or loving somebody and posting something, and then being like, no, I've got regret about saying or doing it?
I think it's super hard, but with me, I feel like it's a sign of weakness if I let people into my emotional, my mind space. And I feel like I need to find different ways. Call a friend, speak to my mum, write it down. There's so many other ways that you can do things to express how you feel, because before social media, what were you doing? Do you know what I mean? And you need to make sure that sometimes you might have friends that, you don't know, might have had an argument, people are going to start taking things personal. You might not even be
I bet you think this is about you,
you know what
isn't
I mean?
it?
Or people be like, okay, I knew she was dealing with that person. Oh, now it adds up. 1 + 1 = 2. And then you're getting messages, and it's like, you know what? I don't want you to be a part of this.
It's so difficult. What about pictures and relationships? Because, you know, like on all the celebrity rags, you know somebody's done, if they stop following them on social media, or they've taken down the pics. Would you do anything like that?
Do you know, that's a different... I was having the same discussion with my friends. I was saying that, do you know what, if I got into a new relationship, because at the same time, I don't want to offend my partner like I'm hiding him from the world. But at the same time, like, how do I balance the fact that I don't really want social media in my personal
to know
space?
him.
Because the fact of the matter is, when you decide to become a public figure and you put yourself on a platform, your life is out to the public. So when you're in a relationship, they want to know who you with, who's your man. Do you know what I mean? Even to a point where, even personal, like, for example, my child's father, people have wanted to scout who's Esther's.
I want to know who he is.
Do you know what I mean? So I feel
Who's
like,
the lucky guy?
I feel like whoever you get with has to have an understanding. He has to accept that, do you know what, maybe it's not that I don't love you, I don't have feelings for you, or I'm ashamed of you.
But
I feel like
if I put you out there, I might delete your picture.
Exactly.
Now, Maya Jama publicly apologised recently for tweets posted back in 2012. She made derogatory statements on Twitter about dark-skinned women and disabled people. But should she apologise to her fan base she didn't even have 5 years ago? And should she take responsibility for her remarks? For me, let me bring that to you.
Yeah.
We all know Maya Jama.
Absolutely. I'm a huge fan of Maya Jama, but I was very disappointed by those tweets, regardless of if it was 5 years ago. I just feel like it's down to morals. Like, I was trained in a way, like, there's just certain things you don't say. Do you understand? I'm never, ever going to come for disabled people or, you know...
A girl with a bit of melanin.
Yeah. You know, some of those things, I can't believe she actually said it. Whether she was 16 or not, I just feel like, you know, we have morals and there's just personal restraints.
Let me just read it just to remind you guys. Dark-skinned bees shaving their head expecting to look like Amber Rose when really they end up looking like Michael Jordan. LLOOOOOOOL. Esther, I know you're a liberal, and because you're in the spotlight, you understand the backlash, but come on, no one can defend this. Surely.
Okay, you know what it is, yeah? I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I personally believe that people need to cut her slack in the sense that 16 years old, let's be 100. I did things when I was 16 that I regret. I weren't a great
16-year-old.
Exactly. I wasn't sitting there an advocate that, oh my gosh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I had views. Do you know what I mean? I looked at certain things, and do you know what?
That view's wrong, right?
Yeah, that view's is. I'm not disclaiming
right.
that it's wrong, but I had. You know what I mean? At the same time, we also have to understand that our environment plays a part in the way we think. Do you understand? You know, you made a reference that our morals. No offense to Maya Jama, she may not have grown up with morals.
Exactly, that's what
she
I'm
may not
saying.
have grown up with having that kind of a figure.
Well, no, and she's had a really harsh upbringing. I think her father was in prison.
Exactly,
because
she spoke about going to visit him.
Yeah.
Now, I personally believe, I feel like the reason that Maya Jama is still getting backlash today is because the apology that she did an interview and she apologised, but there was a but in it. So with that but being said, you know how London is. We come from a town and city where we are real. We like to see people like keep it 100.
Yeah, say I'm sorry, no buts.
Exactly.
No buts.
So I think for that reason, that's why Maya Jama's got backlash and she continues to get backlash because it was a but. Instead of her to take ownership completely and say, do you know what, I messed up. The way I've been brought up, the way I grew up, and plus I don't even know why everyone's surprised. To be honest with you, I grew up in a society where, you know, growing up, I went to I was one of a few black girls in my class. Do you understand? A lot of the girls in my class were mixed race or white, and we used to get it from all the time. Even our kings, and I'm calling our black men kings because they were the ones who even were.
They were the worst. And obviously Stormzy is darker than all of us.
Yeah.
But Monica, you know, Esther says the reason why the backlash, some people say she hasn't got backlash. You look on all the billboards, Pretty Little Thing, she's hosting everything.
Okay, yeah.
And before the tweets were revealed, even though she's mixed race, there were sisters that were saying, thank God, there's somebody like Maya Jama I can look up to. But has she really been reprimanded? Sorry, she's still got a radio gig, she's still packing in the peas. And, you know, she's still, you know, people still love and support her. Has she had enough of a backlash?
I feel like she had enough to a certain extent.
Okay.
She lost a lot of fans, and when I was looking
Has she lost you as a fan?
She hasn't lost me because she was able to like win me back over.
How? With that silly apology?
Not with the first apology was the problem, and she actually admitted, you know what, in a moment when so many people are attacking you and attacking your character and everything, you're gonna just literally go into it and be like, you know what, I'm sorry.
She just wanted to,
get it out.
She had no
and
kind of
she
advice.
Came back and she apologised for that, and she could have went onto BBC, she could have went onto any different platform that is majoritarily not black.
She went on that podcast,
She went on
she?
the Receipt podcast and she apologised, and you know what, the girls scrutinised her, they spoke to her and they educated her. Even though in 2012 it was a very different place on Twitter, I can say. Do you know what I mean? It was a bit of a dark place, and the reason why I said that, because I didn't think people really understood how to kind of utilise Twitter in a positive way. It was just seen as a way to just express yourself.
It was an outlet, and I get you, Monica, and I also get you, Esther, but for me, surely if you're racist, you're racist. If you're a colourist, you're a colourist. I understand, you know, we're all from kind of inner city London, and I get, Esther, we've spoken about it before. We may have had, you know, we may have been naughty in school or done certain things, but surely there's some things that are inherently in you. It doesn't matter whether you're famous or not. If you're going to say you look like this or disabled people or that is your character, and an apology isn't enough.
I feel like being a racist is something that's taught, and it can be unlearned. No one's born a racist.
And
do you know what I mean? And society
and
the environment can make you feel as if that everything is okay, what you're saying. Bearing in mind, London is one of the most multicultural cities. Outside of London, you hardly will see any black people, to be fair. And sometimes they're just ignorant to the fact that they don't understand certain terminologies and that it can be seen as a bit racist and stereotypical.
Her dad is Somali.
But
She's seen black people before.
No, she's seen black people, but at that time, being colourist wasn't an issue. Like, even me, like, when I was 16, 17, we'll go back and forth, like, oh, you think you're nice because you're light, and it's like, but I'm still black. Do you know what I mean? It was always that little war, but because we're black, it was not okay, but it was okay.
If somebody like Holly Willoughby, Tess Daly, or any other, you know, white English really popular presenter had said that, do you think it would have been a slap on the wrist, or would it have been like, you know, you're out as fast as you can, and death threats?
Holly.
I think
Holly Willoughby.
Yeah. I think if a white person said it, it would have been an outrage.
Yeah.
But because she's black to an extent, like she's light skinned, we give her the blight. But like, let's look at what she said about disabilities.
That's
unacceptable.
That's
It's not about
what she said was wrong. Everything she said was wrong. I'm not giving any excuse. That
I believe we should forgive, but I'm just thinking, is the apology enough?
But at the same time, we also need to remember that we've been battling this and facing this for so many years. Like, I understand everyone saying what she did was wrong, but Maya Jama is just one public figure that's done it. What about all the other people that have done it? You know, we've been facing this for so many years. Like, I went to a school where boys used to call me a black monkey. Like, it's real. That's what we go
Esther,
through.
you say we've been facing it for so many years, but if we don't sanction and if people don't take accountability for it, we're going to continue to keep facing it. We need people like this to kind of like...
We want to support her, but what she did was wrong.
Yeah, I think she knows that, and everyone knows that she was wrong.
Everybody knows. It's indefensible, isn't it?
All
right, ladies. Well, that's it from me, Juliana Oliyinka, and my fantastic guests, Esther Falana, Monica Lee, and Fumi Ogunja. And don't forget, guys, Noni's now online. Wherever you are in the world, go to www.yangatv.com to check out every single episode. Join me next time for more Noni Chat. Goodbye.